The federal government has opened talks with the Nigeria Labour Congress with a view to staving off the impending nationwide strike. At the end of the almost 3-hour-long meeting, both parties say there was no resolution. Here's that report.
A nationwide strike is looming, but the Nigerian government is determined to avert it, which is why the Minister of Labour and Employment, Simon Lalong, is calling this meeting with Labour. The last 2-day warning strike called by the Nigerian Labour Congress was largely successful and gave government sleepless nights as long as it lasted. A full-blown indefinite national industrial action later this month is therefore inconceivable to Nigerian authorities.
Our meeting was very robust and we had a very, very fruitful meeting. But at the end of the day, many of those items that we left are still for consideration and before the final agreement, or what I would call discussions.
But to the Nigerian Labour Congress, the last warning strike was a product of frustration since none of its demand has been met. Such demands include an introduction of the compressed natural gas, increase in minimum wage, resolving the ASU and the NURTW crisis, as well as the issue of transfers. The Congress says it is particularly annoyed by the role of the police in the crisis rocking one of its unions, the NURTW, and says it remained one of the preconditions for averting the impending nationwide strike.
Like the Honorable Minister said, we had a fruitful deliberation and we have agreed to continue to make sure we arrived at a meaningful agreement within the remaining days of the ultimatum.
After more than 3 hours of closed-door talks, it will seem as if both parties have not reached a resolution.
We acknowledge the valid grievances that have fueled the recent labor crisis, and we are committed to addressing them in a just and equitable manner. We must also recognize the economic realities that confront us. As we address the concerns of our workforce, we must be mindful of striking a balance that promotes economic growth and secures sustainable progress.
It was not deadlocked because there is discussion, and discussion is a kind of, it has an open, it's an open-ended one, that we can meet again this night, we can meet tomorrow morning, but both parties will work towards the realization of these objectives before the last minute of the ultimatum.
Even though there is no resolution yet, the Nigerian Labour Congress says it will continue to honor government invitations aimed at reaching an amicable resolution of all issues in dispute.